Hey guys, Jen Graves here. So, laying on the end of my bed backwards, I thought about laying the other way, but then I would be staring straight up at the ceiling through this whole video, and I figure y'all would want something to look at no matter what it was. So, anyway, this is like my favorite shelf, and some of my extra ones on my little table that I need to read. Um, you know, and then my one of my read shelves and table. Anyway, though, so there was a question asked, and it was on another YouTuber's channel. And then I thought it was funny because I watched that video and I came away not enjoying it. Um, because it didn't make any sense for that to tell y'all what was said. So anyway, Miggs, my man, um, is was on one of my videos earlier and asked me how I got so much manga. And as for a lot of y'all know, I'm pretty close to hitting my next 1,000 milestone. Woo. Um, After I did some order and stuff today, I'm almost 150 away from it. So, hopefully I can do a video when I get closer to that, my next milestone and whatnot. Um, but anyway, so I want to answer the same question, and that is, how did you get so much manga? Um, so I didn't get some kind of mysterious fortune or anything, guys. And like I told Miggs, I was like, hey, bud, the short answer really for that is you just keep collecting. That's it. That's really the whole key to it. Um, you know, um, and some of y'all have heard some of my videos, and I've told some of y'all this, and some of y'all know because I've gotten in a conversation about it with y'all. Because there's no reason to waver it off or anything. Um, but it's basically knowing what you can spend, putting yourself on a budget and everything, and being able to go and get stuff that you want. Sometimes if you enjoy video games, it's getting a it's getting manga over getting a video game. I collect action figures too, and right now I'm like, there's so much different manga that I want, and I'm just kind of chomping at the bit because it's been like a whole year with some of them that I've wanted, and now I'm starting to get them, and I've put that whole kind of action figure collecting thing on the back burner. Even though all I do is collect Marvel Legends, that still takes out part of it for me. That could be, on right stuff, that could be a potential 3 books or so. Usually they run about $20. Around that. So it could be even more than that. It could be closer to 4 volumes after tax and stuff. But, as I said, you just kind of keep going with it and whatnot. Like I said, another person had kind of close to the same story. They started at 14 and I started at 14. I'm not sure how old they are compared to me, but I'm only 26. So I'll turn 27 in December. Not that big of a deal, really. You know, but there is just different things that you do. Starting out, guys, like, I only had my allowance, and my allowance was $20. And I got that basically every Friday night. And usually what my whole thing was, going out with my mom to Books A Million or something, because she wanted to go have coffee or go up there and read a book or something. before they shut it down in my hometown, or close to my hometown, kind of my whole little county area. Um, the big thing for me a lot of times was the buy two get one free. Like, and it took me forever. There were different times when I was like, Mom, will you buy me this one if I do such and such chores that I didn't do before? It would be something extra that I would do besides my regular ones. And that was kind of the whole thing. Whenever I got like a ticket or anything, was one of the only exceptions. When I got a ticket or a receipt thing that was like, save $10 on, a $50 order or something, or 15 or something like that. That was really the only times when she would kind of let me get by with that, but it only happened maybe once every 6 months. So going into that and building up, I mean, when I was, you know, 14 collecting and everything, going up to being 18, like, I might have been lucky if I had 300 manga. But that's going off of that and everything and not having a job. I did it a little bit when I had a fast food job, but a lot of that had to go towards hanging out with my friends and stuff too. So that kind of put a damper on some of my collecting as well. So anyway, at 18, I probably had about 300 manga, which is, I would say rough range for most new beginners. That's probably where you're at, especially if you're in middle school, going into high school, different things like that. So I had that I did. Then I had my job, and I kind of did that for a little while. I got better set in school and everything, and would get money, different stuff like that. And one thing that I kind of did too is my mother, whenever my father would send, because he moved to a different state, basically when I turned 18, so that was around the same point. But I still had to finish up high school. I had 1 year left, basically. But she had been saving all the child support and stuff like that, just things that happen like that when people fall out of love. And whenever I was 19 and all that, she ended up saying, well, now you're old enough that your dad doesn't have to pay it anymore. I don't have to worry about it. She goes, here. And I think I ended up getting like $1,500. Nothing too big, elaborate, anything like that, for the time. So she had saved up about that much, and I had given her part of it just because I felt like she probably needed part of it. Because I was starting to learn how to drive my car at that time, that I still have. So that happened. And I bought some, my birthday and Christmas, I asked for manga. Any little, like, thank you gifts, I asked for manga. From my family, different things like that. Whenever I babysit my nephews and stuff like that, I got money and I spent it mostly on manga. So, there is a whole thing like that you have to kind of figure out. Now, then later on, after that, past 19, all the other stuff, I got another job. It was basically when I was 20, on the cusp of 21, and I got a job at a bar. I was a busboy and bought manga that way, but I was happy if I maybe got $50 worth. That's just how much I could really put towards anything. And so I did that, or I'd save and wait and be able to spend $100, something like that. And if you know that, it's the reason why I tried to do over 50 is because I was ordering from Right Stuff, and Right Stuff was, you know, here's free shipping if you do that. And I didn't even have a membership with them. I didn't even know about that just yet. Um, but I continued forward. I got some of my other stuff. I got some of my other books. I hit 21 and I asked for a second job up at the kind of bar place I worked at. They also had a venue connected to it. And so Friday and Saturday nights, and Sundays, I would go work in the restaurant as a busboy and stuff. And later on, after I hit 21, I actually worked as, a security guard, basically, a glorified security guard. There wasn't very much to it. I had other people that worked there that kind of did that. And, so I was getting more. So I did that, and basically, I got to do that. I also, still asked for manga for my birthday and Christmas and everything, as I still do till this day. But I also, that was one of the first times too around that time that I bought a collection from a friend. He was actually a roommate, and he couldn't pay rent because I was renting from my mother, and he couldn't pay rent. So instead of that, I asked her, I said, could you forget about the rent this time, and I'll pay part of it, but I said he's gonna pay me with his collection. Can I do that? So he probably had about another 200 books. By this time of collecting, I had taken different spots where I hadn't gotten to focus too much on it. And so that ended up bumping me up to, with the whole thing, probably about 1,000 solid. And that was my first 1,000, and it was oh so great, wonderful, woo, all that other stuff. Um, and then I just so happened to be sitting there. I quit that job because I had gotten tired of it. It wasn't my cup of tea anymore. It was fun while it lasted, but I didn't want to do it anymore. Sorry guys, I almost dropped the phone. So it turned out like that, and I remember going and kind of being at that point where I was kind of like, oh, there's no way for me to make money. I can't do anything. And I couldn't really do too much. And I had gotten basically to the point in my collection where I didn't have, I had the stuff that my friend gave me to read, and I kind of bought ones here and there, but I didn't really have a lot that I could do. And so I went and had lunch with my mother at a restaurant, and the one of my mother's friends that is the person of the job that I work at now, still do. We were having lunch on like a Sunday. She said, tell him to come in tomorrow on a Monday, and I'll give him a job. So I got a part-time job, working basically like a 9 to 5 one, only being able to work like 25 hours or 29 hours or whatever. That was our part-time work. And I stayed at that for a little while, and probably about a month and a half to 2 months, they were like, you've worked with us long enough. We want to give you a full-time position. So here I am with more money and stuff that I got, and having to pay rent and utilities now and all this other stuff. And I was like, hey, I'm gonna start getting manga again. telling my brother that I was like, I enjoy it, but I've finished all the Shonen Jump magazines. They're never going to print anymore. I'm going to go back and start collecting manga, and doing all this. So I never really stopped, but I never really got to collect too much like hardcore, as I would call it. But I ended up basically sitting there and looking it over and everything because I also go to college. I've been doing that for a little while. I took 1 year off, and so I've been going back and hitting the ground trying to get done with my stuff pretty good. Um, but, I've gotten another kind of raise kind of thing or job title and then raises and different stuff. And that's kind of what's keyed me off so much from there. I probably had that, and then where I'm at now is probably due to my job and whatnot. But I've always kept the goals that I've wanted and everything to move forward. So, I mean, guys, part of it, I will have to agree with some things. It is lucky. It is based off of luck, and it's also based off of how much you want to spend on it. Some people don't want to spend a lot. They might only want a couple series and then sell it off. Um, you know, Besides the last time when I bought a series from somebody, which was probably like 2 months ago, or less than that, maybe. I can't remember. That was the second time I'd ever gotten something from somebody else. Everything else I've basically bought outright. Most of it's from Right Stuff. They have a lot of different good deals. And if you can catch them in different stuff, um, you know, even little stuff, little pennies or whatever that you can save, it's still more that you can have later on. Free shipping, all that other stuff. So I haven't had to really pay too much for anything outside of that, and sometimes, that $50 limit rose to $100 and then to $150, because that's about what it takes to buy about a 15 volume series. Sometimes I go over that, sometimes I don't. I try and split it up better where I'm not buying a certain way, in like 30 manga and 30 manga and all this other stuff. And then I kind of got into the pre-order game. If you don't know, usually pre-orders, you get a discount on those anyway. A lot of people don't know that. When you do pre-orders, you do get a discount on some of it early on. You get it whenever you do that. Now, you miss out on some of the different sales and stuff where it could be a little cheaper, but you're still getting it for a cheaper amount. But I usually pre-order all my stuff, and that's kind of me keeping it on my budget. Let me see if I can pull this sheet out without dropping the phone or tripping or anything. So this is something that I did today, budget-wise. So these are ones that I have coming out. Ones that they didn't say were in store or anything. These are ones that are coming out. They're all initialed, basically different stuff. But this is kind of how I do it. As I've showed y'all before, I kind of make it where I know exactly how much I have coming out. And so I know, and I don't know if it's the same for y'all at all. I get paid every 2 weeks. Some people get paid every week. Some people get paid differently. But, you can do it as long as you know what you're going to get. So I do that. And then after I see how much I have, I go, okay, well, I'm only going to spend a little more. What can I get besides that? And I'll go and look at a series and see if I can buy part of it, something like that, and still save part of it for a later date. So some of that's just different. You can buy a box set, omnibuses, however you feel like you can do it to read a series that you want or enjoy. You know, and I'll let y'all in on a little secret. I mean, today, if you don't go with your first instinct, that's kind of a gut reaction that I have. If it's the same and it's always going to be the same, then don't worry about it. But I mean, same as action figures or anything. If I go see one at the store or something like that, or I see it online, my first instinct is, oh, add it to my cart. And by the time I get done, you know, I have like $500 worth of books in my cart. Then I kind of got to go, well, which one do I really want the most? And so I got to start taking stuff out of my cart to get it down to something that's really understandable and stuff. Where I'll be able to, you know, still get gas and stuff like that. But, you know, you just kind of do that. You budget it out and you look. Today, guys, I'll let you in, like I said, on a little secret too about it. Don't stop at the first place or the usual place that you get it. Today, I looked at getting Knights of Sidonia. There's a new thing coming out called like Gauschwitz something. It's you can get it on pre-order. It comes out basically in like October, different stuff like that. But it's by the same artist that did Knights of Sidonia and all that. And so I decided that when I saw that one, that I was like, it's time for me to buy Knights of Sidonia. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. So there's 10 of them that I could get. So always carry a notepad with you guys. It's one of the biggest things. Or sticky notes, something. You know, you can always price to it. But I looked. 5 of them I could get on Right Stuff. If you try and go and get Knights of Sidonia stuff on Right Stuff, like I found out today by talking to one of their staff, basically 5 of their other ones are now out of stock because I got the last ones. I didn't know that, and it popped up on my thing, and I was like, what does this mean? Like, am I even going to get my volumes? Well, so now it's up to 10 if you're going to try and collect them. It is going to be a lot harder. But I mean, I browsed around too before I even made the purchase. I knew there were 5 that they didn't have already that I was going to have to account for. I looked the first one up on Amazon, which is like Knights of Sidonia 14, and it was $108. I was like, no way. Maybe if it was a really old series, I had a lot of money to burn, I would do it, but there's no way I can do it. You know, I don't try to pay more than $30 a volume, and I don't think I have until I bought another volume when I went to Barnes & Noble. You know, my most expensive one that I've gotten was $25, and it was you know, like a $10 volume. So I don't really want to go over very much, so I try not to. You know, being picky and stuff is a good thing, getting manga. So anyway, I started looking. I saw the first one on Amazon that I looked at. I was like, no way, $108, not doing it. I looked on Barnes & Noble, and they said, well, if you want any of these, the first one I found, it was going to be like $16. Second one I found, out of stock. You know, try to figure out when would they restock. It's undecided. Well, since we don't have a Books A Million anymore, I don't know how many people do. I go to Books A Million, and the 5 that I need, $12 a piece. So I do that. I go in. I had a membership with them. I guess it's expired. So I kind of did something else, and they said, with your online order for today only, if you have a order over 50, which it was, we will knock $10 off of it. So I ended up getting all my Knights of Sidonia for basically like $45. You know, the 5 that I needed, really good deal and everything. So now I have the completed stuff of Knights of Sidonia coming to me. But I tell y'all all that because I want y'all to not just hop at your first instinct. I know my buddy Shin Megami likes to go to Barnes and Noble a lot, but me and him have been talking off and on, and he started talking to me more about Right Stuff and the book depository stuff. Places like that are usually ones that are going to help you out the most. Sometimes they won't. Like I have mentioned in my Barnes & Noble one, if they do a 2-for-1 and you're getting exactly the same book, like Goodnight Pun Pun or something, it is a lot cheaper to go and do that because you're going to spend $40 on Goodnight Pun Pun for the 2 volumes you get, and get another one basically $20 scot-free. And on Right Stuff, they're probably like $15. It knocks off some. You're going to pay $30 and on the first 2, and they don't have a deal like that. So you're going to pay $30 and you're going to end up paying $45. Now it only saves you $5 for doing it that way, but that $5 is something you can carry over to another purchase later on. So you do have different options. Not every site is always going to be the best. So just look around. As I said, Right Stuff has a bunch of sales and stuff that you can hit up. They're just getting done with Viz sale, which I got, and I told a lot of y'all this. I'm getting Nisekoi, or Nisekoi, however you say it. And I got that at a big discount. It knocked $40 off of my order, because I had some other ones in there too. But just like browse around before you make a selection. Don't always go and think like, hey, I'm going to get this right now. I can't wait. Sometimes it is good for that. If it's more to you to get the book then so you can read it, I would say go for it. But sometimes, as most of y'all know, I'm not really hurting for reading a book. I have excess where I can go and make my own pick instead of buying one and having to read just that one. You can go back and do that. And so, browse around, like I said, and anything that you can save is something that you can spend later on. I know a lot of people don't think of that exactly, but if you do that, it works out. The $30 that I saved from the Nisekoi order, that's $30. The $5 or whatever that I would have saved from my Goodnight Pun Pun, $35. It all adds up somewhere. Even if it's just a couple pennies and stuff at different times, in the end, it'll add up enough where it makes a difference for you. So, going back to that is basically how I have allotted a lot of books and whatnot, and all that other stuff. But for anybody that, and you might know who I'm talking about, if you watch the video, there's nothing that you need to go buy some kind of old relic, whatever, and try and build a time machine to go back, and all that stuff to do it. I mean, it just takes you seeing what you're going to spend and whatnot. It's not, whatever. And I would say listen to everybody that does anything, and for the most part, I would say get everybody's different opinions and stuff on those. That's why, if anybody's noticed, I do ask a lot of y'all kind of close to different questions, because I want to know the different answers. If we're all talking about like Dead Man Wonderland or something, then there might be somebody that can get it a lot cheaper than everybody else. There might be somebody selling it, which could get it cheaper. You don't know, and all that other stuff, because somebody might have a used bookstore in their neighborhood, and you could get it a lot cheaper. But you don't have to sit there and basically go out of your way. Just find the better price deals and stuff. Keep thinking of the freaking Priceline Negotiator. Yeah. But I mean, that's right. It's different stuff like that. And it does that over time. But I would, if I were y'all, like I said, ask other people how they do different stuff. The only thing I can tell y'all is I have, compared to the other person that I'm talking about, you know, I have almost double their collection, if not double their collection. And this is what I've been doing, for a long time, and enjoy it. I mean, I enjoy manga. I enjoy talking to all of y'all about manga. It's not something that I don't want to get into. I want to see the story end. On all the different ones. Even if it's one I might not say it's 100% amazing. Um, but so you don't have to amass some crazy fortune. You don't have to do any of that, because in the end, you finding the better deals and saving is you amassing your own fortune. Different stuff like that. So anyway, though, guys, enough of ranting on my soapbox and all that. I'm not really the person that likes to do that too much, but between Miggs asking me, and I know that he's one of the people, hop over to his channel and subscribe to him. I really enjoy his videos, just like a bunch of you other guys that I watch. Um, you know, Hop over there on his, and check his out. Anybody else's, anybody that you find something, try it. I've found myself doing some, just looking up a review, trying to find one of my own on the search, thing, and finding somebody else's and going in and liking them and subscribing to them, because I'm like, they have a different books in their collection. They have something else, or whatever. They're fun to talk to. They have a different point of view. But as I said, guys, I mean, just be weary and understand exactly what you're spending your money on, where the better deals are at, different things like that. It is kind of close to a job, staying on, looking at different stuff for when you're going to get a good deal and whatnot. I think Barnes & Noble also has like a Manga Monday thing that somebody told me about, where they put a discount on it too. I mean, different things like that. You get different ways, ideas, or whatever. So just kind of write it out, look at it, all that, and figure out what's best for you. After I hit this milestone, I'm going to be moving forward onto my next 1,000 books. Hopefully I get to do a collection board before I start getting too far into that one. But there's different stuff, guys. So just look at it. I am going to have to show you all my pre-orders, because that's where some of mine are tied up at. And I wouldn't include those if I hadn't been doing the pre-order thing for over 1.5 years now, which is when I started, 1.5 years ago, ordering pre-orders and then budgeting my stuff out to figure out how much I needed, and getting different kinds of discounts and all this other stuff on almost every order, for different things, either a promotional thing or a promotional code, or a little thing because it's summer or winter or anything, so basically, guys, that's how I've amassed my big collection of manga and stuff. And I don't want any of y'all sitting there thinking that you have to have money or come from money or whatever. Me and the other person that did the video, listening to him, we were almost drawing the same lots in life: white collar, blue collar, family, on the verge or whatever. Because we weren't that rich, especially coming into two different households because my parents got a divorce. There wasn't stuff that was just out there like that I could do. But like I said, it builds up over time, and that's just something that you have to be weary of and look at and know And I mean, for most of y'all, I feel like y'all would see a big change with that. So don't rely on some of the other stuff that's crazy, like you have to be rich or you have to have figure out how to sell something off to get a big fortune or anything like that. That's unnecessary. You know, do what lets you yourself survive. Food money, gas money, all that other stuff. Do that and then figure out your budget. So, anyway, though, guys, I know I've been ranting for a while. I hope y'all will watch this video and just kind of, well, you would have watched the video before you got to this part, but just kind of sit there and kind of think of that. There's tons of new series that come out. You could jump on some of those, you know, new stuff, you know, old series that you could buy and, you know, find good prices on them or different things like that. And, you know, just end up becoming, you know, amazing collectors. Like I know that all of y'all are, you know, but don't have the mindset that you're never going to be as good as somebody else either. I mean, somebody could sit there and start doing exactly what I do and get a little extra pocket change more than me and totally pass my collection, you know, at some point. So, you know, don't think of anything like that. It's not some giant monster that you can't achieve yourself. You know, so anyway, guys, sorry about the rant. Sorry about all that. I like all you YouTubers, all that stuff. The person's video I was talking about, one of my ultimate favorite YouTubers too. You know, I just feel like it wasn't good what he told any of y'all, as far as that goes. And you know, I'm not gonna say his name or her name or anything like that, and put that person on the spot. You know, because I don't want any of y'all thinking that that person's bad because of whatever. But I mean, you know, all you can do is basically support people. So again, guys, thanks for watching this video. I hope it was very helpful for y'all. I'm probably going to do another one showing my pre-orders and basically going over that to, you know, do some more information to help y'all out. But, you know, as I said, Migs asked me a question at some point and we kind of talked about it, and I had watched the video and it just kind of irritated me that somebody would basically tell you that because you have to get lucky in life with a big collection of something or another, is how you would amass a huge collection, when that's not correct or right at all. So anyway, though, guys, I'm gonna be done with this video. I can't rant anymore about it. You know, y'all now have tools that I've given you to continue and become better collectors. I don't know why I said that kind of weird. Better collectors and manga-ers, and become amazing manga tubers and stuff. You know, and different stuff like that, and being able to enjoy a lot of different series like you want to, and accomplish goals like you want to. If you want to be like me and some of the other big manga tubers that have, you know, amassed a couple thousand or thousands of manga. So anyway, though, guys, I will catch y'all later. Thanks for watching the video, even though, you know, it's crazy. I didn't expect it to go this long. I guess I just kind of got around myself and kept talking and talking. But I hope you'll watch it and you'll go in and look at it and see, and you know, try some of the stuff, see if it works for you. Post down below and let me know, you know, if there's that, or if there's even a better way that one of y'all see that's better than the way that I do stuff. One of y'all could have an absolutely better way that is totally a game changer. So anyway, guys, let me know in the comments below and everything below. And I'll catch y'all later. Jen Graves signing off. Bye.